guys, I just wanted to give kind of like a middle of the year curriculum and homeschooling update since we're coming up on about halfway through our school year, which is so hard to believe. We started early August and yeah, we're about halfway through the year, so it's been a really fun year so far. My daughters are in first grade and kindergarten, and they're both homeschooling at about a first, maybe even like a low second grade level, just kind of depending on the subject. So we started the year. I'll just go ahead and go kind of like through subject and what we're doing for each one. So we started for math. We started with math lessons for living education, and we had used that for like the second part of our kindergarten year last year. And we just were not feeling it this year. There was a whole variety of reasons, I guess, but we were in level 2, which is, I guess, like a second grade level, but they were like surpassed the level 1, which we did last year. So, and it just really felt like there was like some concepts that they spent way too much time on, and then some that they didn't spend enough on. And so I don't know, it was just flying through certain things that I felt like they really needed more time on. And so I searched high and low, and I ended up finding something that I love, and it actually was from the website Teachers Pay Teachers. So anyway, the curriculum, it's called Mindful Math, and we're doing the first grade curriculum for it, and I love it, and the girls love it, and it's just been a super good fit for us. I think that a lot of the reason why we were struggling with other kinds of math is because I think I was struggling to teach it because it wasn't being presented in a way that made sense to me, and this is like a lot more like the way that I learned math. So I just kind of have printed off for each unit and put it in a binder, and then they have like lesson plans for me, which is super helpful. I don't follow them to a T. It's technically made for a classroom, so I kind of just mix and match and do what works for us at home. But generally every day they have like a journal prompt, which will be something that they learned from the lesson the day before, which is just super easy. Then I'll kind of introduce the new concept. They do 1 to 2 practice sheets a day most of the time, and then we'll do some kind of hands-on thing, which a lot of times is like a game or something like that. So this was just in the very first edition lesson, but it's just like a board game. So they would draw it, figure out what the answer was, and then move their little guy to whatever the answer was. So just really fun, easy stuff like that my girls are really thriving in math now, I feel like, and it's been a really good fit for us. It is a little bit more prep work for me because I'm having to print things out, cut games and different things like that, but I would say I probably maybe do 1 to 2 hours of prep for a whole unit, and we're just in our second unit right now. So if we do like 4 or 5 units this year, that's not really terrible considering how well it's going for us. So we feel really happy with that. I'm already thinking about using the next one for second grade next year, so we'll see how that goes. Next in the day, we usually do language arts, and we started the year with the good and the beautiful, and we are still using it and loving it. We're in level 1. I do have a couple of, I'll just get like my couple negative things out of the way before I talk about how much we love it, but there are just a couple things in it that are, it's not a big deal, but it's just like, for example, it's divided up into lessons, and there are 91 lessons, which at first I was like, that's not nearly enough to get through a school year, but now I can see why it's like that because some of the lessons are so long that there's no way, I mean, it would take you 2 hours to get through it if you did it in one day. And so I guess that's just like a minor annoyance for me that I wish that either they would just not label lessons and give you activities and you just do however much you want a day, or that they would do more like, okay, every day is about 30 minutes worth of work or something like that. It's just sometimes it's hard to plan for because until we're actually doing the lesson, it's like I can't figure out which things are going to take a really long time and what things are going to be quicker. So that's kind of, it's not a huge deal. Now I'm just in the hang of it, and we'll go through a couple of different activities, and then it's like, okay, we're just going to stop there. We've been going for 45 minutes already. We'll pick back up tomorrow. But if you were someone that really likes to plan ahead, I think that would be a minor annoyance. So, like, for example, we just did a lesson on, what was it? The sounds of Y. And, we did just do a lesson on that, but the one I'm thinking of was inflectional endings. So, ing and ed. And it took us a whole week to get through this one lesson. So, there, it's like, there's just stuff. each day. So I don't know if you can see over on the side, but there's like, this is an activity, this is a writer's workshop. So that alone, you could expect to take 20 or more minutes depending on your kid. And then there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more pages. So anyway, and then some lessons are like 1 page and that's it, and you're done. And so it's just a little hard to plan for. But other than that, we love it. It's going really well. I feel like my girls' reading is just taking off really fast this year. They're kind of past like the rules and all of that kind of stuff. There's still learning rules for reading and writing, but I think now they're just really starting to put it together and actually read, and that's been really cool to see. So overall, I highly recommend this. One thing that's super nice about it is it really is just open and go. There's no planning for it, there's no prep work, there's nothing. I mean, you just read it directly from the book. It's really simple and easy to understand. I feel like both of my girls who, in terms of language arts, they're very different learners, but it's been a really good fit for both of them. So we really like it. We're going to continue using it. I'm looking at some of their other subjects again for next year as well. But yeah, that's a good one for us. Next we do Bible, and we use Bible study guide for all ages, and we are using the like 3 through K level this year. My girls could, I guess, do the first grade and up one, but they just really like this one. It's fun. So it's going well. We're in our second book of it this year, Unit 2. We're in Unit 2, Quarter 1, because we were still finishing a quarter from last year. So, but it's good. We just kind of go over review stuff, and then there's a page each day that tells like the Bible story. So it'll say, number 1, the time came for Jesus to be crucified. Jesus could not carry his own cross. The soldiers forced a man named Simon to carry the cross for Jesus. With blue, color Simon. So then they come into box number 1 and color Simon blue. So it just kind of keeps them engaged in the story, and they're really retaining a ton of information about Bible stories, which I really like. So far, I have found it to be pretty theologically sound. I think there was like one thing that I kind of had to clarify with the kids, but it wasn't like a huge deal, and that might have just, I don't know that it was necessarily like theologically off. It was just like a preference thing for me. So yeah, we really like that. We're still going with that. I don't know if we'll use it again next year. We might just kind of do our own thing next year, but for right now, it's going great. We love it. Then we kind of trade off doing science or social studies. On Mondays we do both because my boys are at school, so we just have a little bit more time to get stuff done, but then the rest of the week we just kind of do one or the other. For science, we are using, it's called 106 Days of Creation, and it's just like, it's called a family study handbook, and it's kind of like a Charlotte Mason style of science, I guess. So a mom just wrote it, and it just has like kind of different activities and lessons for God's creation. So each like unit is a day of creation. So the girls just have binders, and they have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 of creation. And so right now we're on day 3. So like this week we're learning about food and fungus. So we're doing a science experiment where they sprayed some bread with water, put it in a Ziploc bag, and now we're kind of just checking it every day to like see the fungus that grows on it and stuff like that. So it's just really simple, easy stuff. There's usually some scripture that goes along with whatever it is that we're doing that day, and it's just been fun. We've done a lot of like nature study type things, and it's just really laid back. The kids get it. We can kind of go at a slower pace or pause somewhere and just do whatever feels good to us that week. So that's been really good. And then for social studies, I got pretty much all the stuff off of Teachers Pay Teachers last year, just several different units. So far we have done, the first unit we did was Me on the Map. So we just learned about, like our city, state, country, continent, stuff like that. Then we did a unit on past, present, and future, which was really fun. We did a lot of fun stuff with that, like just interactive notebook and different booklets and reading stories about how people used to live like in pioneer times and things like that. And we didn't actually quite get through that, but I wanted to move on because we have a unit for Christmas around the world, and I wanted to get to that so that we had enough time to get all the different countries. And that unit has been awesome. We just do like an interactive PowerPoint slideshow every day. It teaches us stuff that they do in each different country that we're learning about. There's usually like a craft to go with it, sometimes a video to watch or something like that. And it's just been really fun. The girls love it. They love learning how to say Merry Christmas in other languages and just kind of hearing about some of the traditions from those countries. So that's been going really well. We have a Black History unit coming up, we have map skills, and we are going to also do a landforms unit. So that should take us through the rest of the year. And it's been, again, really just casual, laid back. We can kind of just go with what we're doing and enjoy it. So overall, school's been going awesome this year. It's just absolutely flown by, but it's been a really good and fun year this year. So hope you're all doing well, and if you have any questions about any of the curriculum I shared, definitely feel free to let me know.